Hello, everybody. I did face paint. It's Summerween. Anyway, yeah. So I'm a nerd. I watched 3 horror movies today. I'm not gonna sleep tonight, but I'm gonna do 2 videos today. First one of the 3 movies that I watched The Forest, I watched The Ritual, and I watched Shutter Island. So this video, I'm gonna talk about one particular or a few particular aspects of The Forest. The Forest is mostly set around Jess and Sarah, pair of identical twins. Jess goes missing in the suicide forest, or Japanese suicide forest. I can't remember the name, and I probably can't pronounce it. This suicide forest is said to be haunted by Yurei. I'm probably botching that. But I got some notes on what Yurei means. In the movie, they're described as spirits that come back angry and that can make you see things that aren't there, make you angry, make you sad, and they don't mention vengeance, but that anger, I think, is tied to it. So the actual notes on Yurei is that, from my understanding, they are a subtype of yokai. And yokai can really mean any supernatural or strange phenomenon that humans can't explain. And a Yurei is, in particular, a human spirit that has turned into a ghost, whereas the rest of the yokai are sort of preternatural spirits or supernatural beings or monsters. It covers a lot of ground, yokai, that term. Yurei specifically are very terrifying, but often harmless. As far as I understand, they're usually depicted having no legs and just kind of floating, and they usually appear in the way that they died, or otherwise dressed in the garb in which they are buried. And there's a very traditional garb with a big headpiece. Well, a headpiece, not like a big headpiece. But they're usually they are human spirits that haunt a specific place or person. Now, there is a subtype to Yurei, or to other spirits and ghosts. There are 2 other types, the Mononoke, as in Princess Mononoke, and Onyo. I'm not pronouncing that correctly. These are spirits that specifically hold grudges. Now, Yurei, the kanji for Yurei describes them as being trapped by their shame or their grudges. Mononoke and Onri tend to be seeking vengeance, seem to be far more harmful. So, given that this story says, well, this is the forest when in the olden times they would just leave the sick and the blind and the old to die, it kind of seems like the forest itself is seeking vengeance. And they do make a lot of shots in this movie, The Forest, focusing in on like the rot in the roots of trees, on the snails and the flies and everything. So the forest itself is almost a spiritual force. That being said, the movie overall, very mediocre dialogue, not especially well directed, I don't think. There's certainly moments where it's like, oh, that's pretty good. And there's a motif of descending into a basement. I think that, kind of parallels a descent into hell or the descent into depression that is rather central to the story and to the themes of this movie. Anyway, so those are my quick two cents on Yurei in lore and how that influenced the movie The Forest. So thank you. I'm Endymion for the Dark Times, etc. Happy Summerween.